Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need Northpeach, go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use code MATT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, hope everybody had a great 4th of July. We did. Really low-key day. We Erica, Drew, and I went had lunch at Court to Table. That's the new pickleball concept that Gordon and some of his partners have put on Burbank. Had a great time over there. I've been twice now. The food has been really good, and I'll tell you, I love the how wide open it is, and you can be in there and be loud. So it's great. Like, there's so many times Drew just got up and just starts meandering around. We're like, okay, no biggie, he can just go. So great place if you're looking for a place to go with a big group, and if you have kids, great place, Court's Table. So did that, then went to some friends last night who hosted 4th of July and did fireworks with the kids and all that stuff. So had a great day. Hope everybody did as well. LSU had a great day as the Tigers landed not one but two football commits. It got started with Bryson Cooley, the big offensive lineman out of Mississippi. So now, after having already landed Emmanuel Tucker, LSU currently has commitments from the top two offensive linemen in Mississippi. And Cooley's a massive guy, 6'6", 315, projects as a tackle. So that was a big get. I mean, he was recruited by LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia, Bama, Florida, Mississippi State. So like all the SEC schools sort of bordering Mississippi. And then a short time later, LSU landed a commitment from Isaiah Washington. And Isaiah Washington is he's an interesting prospect because he is a quarterback at Haynesville, but projects as a safety at LSU. So 6'3", 170, a 3-star. But again, when you're playing quarterback and projecting as a safety, it's going to be harder to be graded as a safety when you're not playing that position in high school. But anyway, so really big day. And then the other big news, which this popped off over at LouisianaSports.net, and hat tip to Don Palmer because he's the one who noticed it and wrote about it. But Malachi Washington was named the National Underclass Player of the Year. So he's a rising senior in high school. So he just finished his junior year, is going to be a senior. So he's part of next year's class. He's committed to LSU, but he's named the National Underclass Player of the Year by Perfect Game. So dude that plays all over the field, can already hit with power. I mean, legit. Legit prospect. It's one of those where you wonder, does he ever show up on campus? But he's going to be a fun one to watch, see if you can get him here, because that's one that's pretty special when you start putting on the tape and looking at the highlights. So a big day, man, really big day yesterday. I mean, I was looking at our website numbers for LouisianaSports.net, and I told everybody, like look, if anything breaks, like, I'll handle it. Take the day, just like have a day off. I mean, I don't think people are going to just be like sifting through all of our content, probably a down day. Well, then we get those three stories, Washington and the two football commits, and it's like, our numbers popped off. So even with fewer stories on the site yesterday, we still had a big boost of a day, which was great. So yay, commitments. Anyway, all right, let's say some good morning, see what y'all got. Please smash the like button if you would, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Hey, Jacob, good morning. Chef Abner, good morning. Jacob, we did have a good 4th. Thank you, man. Hopefully for all of you as well, and for your families. Hey, Survivor's Remorse, good morning. Kenneth, Brian, good morning. Jesse, watching stage 1 of the Le Tour. Man, I used to be so big in the Tour de France. I mean, obviously coupled up with all the Lance Armstrong stuff, but it wasn't just Lance. I even watched after Lance Armstrong was done. I just got really big into it. That's when I was running marathons as well. So I was big into distance and endurance races and all that sort of stuff. So really enjoyed the Tour. haven't watched in a long time, though. Hadley Vowell, good morning. Kelly Gross, Austin Kidder. Hey, Brandon, Bubba, good morning, y'all. Let's see, where are we? Robert, good morning. Do you ever see Jay Johnson adding a Bear Jones equivalent hitter for next year? Well, I mean, you're anticipating Ethan Fry returning. So, I mean, there's your 20 homer guy, right? I don't think Ethan Fry is going to be in any type of platoon. He'll be in the lineup every day. So that's a potential 20 homer guy. You did add two portal infielders already with Seth Dardar and Braden Simpson from High Point. Both of those guys are potential 15 homer guys. Like, for example, hang on. So Dardar this year at Kansas State hit Dardar this year at K-State hit 13 homers. And then Simpson at 18. Simpson hit 22 at High Point. So, I mean, 6'1", 190 infielder. But, I mean, his yeah. So hit 3 as a freshman, 12 as a sophomore, 22 as a junior. So, I mean, you've got just there, and then you figure adding Jake Brown, getting 250 at bats. Jake Brown will be a 15 to 20 homer guy. So you'll have plenty of power in that roster. Omar Cerna, Kate Arambidi. I mean, you're going to have power in this lineup. Randall, good morning. How do schools like Arkansas, Tennessee outspend LSU in baseball? That's a great question, man. I think the important thing to remember is we're not talking about dramatic differences in sums of money. We're talking about a difference where like $100K, $70K could make the difference on an elite prospect, right? It's not like LSU was offering Bryce Underwood 1.5 a year and Oracle dude came in, Larry Ellison, and offered him $3 million a year. You know what I mean? We're not talking about that. I mean, you're talking about a 1-year scenario where landing the elite player, not landing the elite player is a difference in $75K. Like those situations happen. Finding the right people that'll make the commitment to do it every year. I mean, what's important to remember is like LSU is spending in baseball. Like, you're still one of the top 10 in the country. There's just schools in your conference that are spending more than you. Brant, good morning. Flight delayed 2.5 hours, 3 kids. Ooh. Epic trip of memories with my girls. Bored watching the LSU come back against Arkansas in the semis. Love it, man. It's a great way to do it, man. Hope y'all get home soon. Let's see. What is it called for the alternative method for retiring jerseys? How soon do you think it will be for guys like Andrew Witt, Pat P, Tyron have that done at LSU? Yeah, so that's what they call it, retiring the jersey. Instead of retiring the number, they call it, LSU says they retire the jersey. So people can still wear the number. It's interesting, though. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I'm sure you have. But they have not issued 9 or 5 since Burrow wore it or since Jaden wore it. They didn't issue 5 last year. There's no 5 on the team right now. And there hasn't been a 9 since Burrow. So even though it's not officially retired, it feels very much like it is unofficially retired. Like they are not issuing that number. Which I think at a place like Florida, for example, where they keep issuing 15, where, I mean, Graham Mertz wore 15. I think their punter wore 15. I'm like, how in the world are you letting anybody wear Tim Tebow's number ever again? Like, that's one where it should be like, yeah, like Joe Burrow, not like Burrow and Daniels 9-5, like should never be one again. Like they permanently belong to those two, but whatever. So and anyway, the wait list for those types of honors is 5 years from the time you're done playing. So I mean, I've said for a long time, Survivor's Remorse. So every time we had this convo, I mean, Glenn Dorsey was eligible in 2012. I think it's now 13 years overdue. That should have been done. He's the most decorated defensive player in the history of the program. Glenn Dorsey, 72, should be honored. Burrow has now hit 5 years. Hard to believe, but he's hit 5 years, and that should happen immediately. I actually said at the time they should have waived the 5-year period for Joe Burrow. I don't think anybody would disagree with me. I believe Kevin Falk should be honored as well. Those are the big ones, I think. Falk, Dorsey, and then Burrow Daniels. Hey, Rooney, good morning. Brant, 2019 LSU defense was solid but not elite. Do you think this year's defense can be at least that good, or is LSU going to have to put up 30 points to win again? You know, the interesting thing about that year, Brant, is the defense got so much better as the year went along. You know, there were some early struggles, and then even there were some like the Bama game, for example. LSU's defense really did a great job in that game. You got the big lead, and then say you let up, and then there was like the Bush League play. Was it Ruggs? Who was it when they caught Stingley, like he faked like they were taking a break, so Stingley let up and then he just took off on the line and burned him deep. But when they needed to be great and they needed to turn up the intensity, they were. And boy, you had a lot of talent on that team. And then the other thing too is your offense scored so much, your defense was on the field a lot. Let's see, you won 45-38 against Texas. Vanderbilt scored 38. If you remember, that was the one where everyone was like, come on, man. I mean, Vanderbilt scored like 4 times in the first half or something like that, but you beat them 66-38. But then you gave up 6 to Utah State. You beat Florida 42-28. Mississippi State scored 13. Auburn scored 20. And that was, remember, that was one jump ball down the sideline when they scored late. Bama was 46-41. We talked about that. Ole Miss was 58-37. That was the one where you were just annihilating them. And then John Rice Plumlee, LSU's defense got on the bus at halftime, didn't come back out. And John Rice Plumlee scored a bunch in the second half. You beat Arkansas 56-20. You beat A&M 50-7. You beat Georgia 37-10. You beat Oklahoma. That was Jalen Hurts 63-28. I don't even think they scored until late in that ball game. And then Clemson was 42-25. I mean, I think that defense was plenty good enough. I think this defense has every bit the opportunity to be as good as that one. Rick, morning, have you heard of LSU's making headway trying to flip Henderson, the 2026 Houston quarterback commit? No. Yeah, man, Chance, God bless. I was talking to my best friend who lives in Austin, and I was FaceTiming. His daughter is my godchild, and we were FaceTiming yesterday, and he was telling me like that there was flooding, and it didn't really register. And then Erica started showing me some of the stuff that's going on in San Antonio, and oh my God, like that is tragic and awful, man. Just golly. You know, your prayers for safety to everybody there. Good morning. Matt, was there ever a game you missed the ending because you were obligated to the job? If so, what game was it? So this wasn't a sports job related thing, but I missed the end of the Bluegrass Miracle. So I was in school, and LSU, if you remember, the SEC did a weird thing where they flipped the schedule from 01 to 02. And so you ended up playing back-to-back home games against the same team and back-to-back road games against the same team. So in 01-02, Ole Miss came to Baton Rouge in consecutive years. In 01-02, LSU went to Kentucky in consecutive years. Well, I went to Kentucky in 01, and that was a great game too. I mean, Rohan Davey threw a touchdown pass to Michael Clayton late in that ball game to win it. That was Jared Lorenz and Shane Boyd were the quarterbacks for Kentucky. A really good game in 01 that LSU ended up winning. Very close game. People forget about that because 02 overshadowed it. Well, that summer of 02, it's when I went to Minnesota, sold books. Well, the awards ceremony for that summer, the banquet and everything, was on the Saturday of the Bluegrass Miracle game. And Bluegrass Miracle ended up being 11 a.m. against Kentucky. It was a Saturday, lunchtime banquet. And so I would have been I would have gone. I mean, I went to every game. Like I would have been there, but I was like, I went last year. Our team leaders and everything were very, important people to me, and they asked me to be there. And so I was like, look, I'll skip the game, which was a big deal for me. So, and there was no TV, so I had literally an FM radio in my jacket pocket with the whole thing with the earpiece running up through my ear, like through my jacket. So I'm listening to the game. And of course, it sounds at the end like LSU's going to lose. They run the clock down to kick the field goal. It looks like they're, Kentucky's going to beat LSU. It's 30-27. And I turn it off, It's by the time the banquet's ending. And so I turn it off my loss. Anyway, so we're just talking, whatever. And a few minutes later from the lobby of the hotel, there's just this eruption, this loud eruption. And people come running in. They're like, oh my God, we won. I'm like, I think I probably lobbed a few expletives, like, don't you bleep with me sort of thing. And then we went in the lobby and that TV on, they were showing the replay of it. Sure enough. So I missed the end of the Bluegrass Miracle. How about that? JP24, good morning. Christian, torrential downpours in central Texas, tons of flooding. That's terrible. Yeah, everybody should be safe over there, man. Hey, Brad, good morning. How many years has the bye week been where it is on the schedule? Has it always been before the Alabama game? And for as long as I can remember. And yet 2 this year. So you have one at the beginning of October, and then you have the one before Bama. But remember, you didn't always have a 12-game schedule, too. So it might have been a thing where you didn't have buys. I'd have to go back and look. But as that schedule's gotten elongated, I think maybe 2002 when they went to the 12-game schedule, if I remember correctly. So it's when they lengthened out the season. Jeffrey, good morning, Scone. Did my first cold plunge this morning. Have to get used to the shock, but it was great. Love it, man. That's awesome. It you just breathe it, man. You get into it. You just give yourself to it, man. Like don't tense up. Just exhale into it and just give your body to it. And the worst thing you do is like that's the worst thing you can do. You just got to relax and breathe through it. And after about 20, 30 seconds, you're good. What? Looks good. Are you showing this or no? I don't care. It's kind of flying into the picture. But it didn't get in. Wait, do it. Okay, they got it. Oh, man. Let's see. Hey, John, good morning. I'm in Austin, woke up to massive rain. Kerrville is needed prayers, so I heard, yeah. So, what, a dam broke? famous flash flooding, huh? And that's just devastating, man. Especially like the kids at that camp. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely keep all of them in your prayers. Hey, Brad, how does women's basketball lose that much money when attendance is strong? Because there's no premium seating and ticket prices are low. You charge $5 a ticket and there's no premium seats. I mean, that's people lose sight of it, but like in football, suites, stadium club, tradition fund, that's where you make the money. In baseball, which loses money, you have premium seating. You have the Champions Club seats, you have suites, you have the new premium seating down the baseline, and they still lose money or close to break even, basketball, you have, your tradition fund on the seats, and you have your 6,000 or so diehard season ticket holders. Attendance to women's basketball, a lot of times, they'll give away blocks of tickets to sports teams or whatever. Even if you're buying them, tickets don't cost enough at a high enough volume of games to be able to make that money to offset the expenditures. Same with gymnastics. Like gymnastics, I mean, they pack the PMAC, but when you have 6 meets and tickets are cheap, I mean, you can't make enough to offset your expenses with ticket sales alone. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Chad, any word on when that judge is going to sign that final thing for GameCoin to be able to do whatever's holding it back? I forgot exactly what you said. It would be nice to move into a new house, have my first child in October. By week is the due date, fingers crossed. Yeah, Chad, good question, man. The legal system isn't always awesome, but I'll see if I can get an update on it for you. Kyrie, good morning. Wanted to mention I caught Stephen A. endorsing your guy Gary Brecka on First Take. Said he saved his life. Pretty cool to hear after hearing you speak so highly. Yeah, so Stephen A. actually, if you're interested, Stephen A. did a sit down on Gary Brecka's podcast where the two of them talked at length about everything that he went through, all his protocols and everything. It is pretty amazing to see some of like the very prominent people who Gary Brecka has helped. And have gone on, his podcast. I mean, Dana White is probably the most notable one because he's shared his story and what his life expectancy was and all that sort of stuff. But Stephen A., Steve Harvey, a lot of athletes, Max Crosby from the Raiders, a lot of UFC fighters, as you'd imagine, as well. Yeah, check out the Ultimate Human podcast on YouTube and you'll see great content there. Just if you're interested in learning more about it. Hey, Chance, watched the replay of the Ole Miss football game yesterday. Such a shame about Kyron. Do you think LSU will honor him in any way, maybe a helmet sticker? I don't know the answer to that, Chance. I don't know. I don't know if there's plans to do that or what. But I'm sure some of his teammates will. But I don't know if there's a plan to do anything. But I don't mind finding out. Get some, Dale. Hey, Jeffrey, did you see Texas Tech got a 5-star, $5 million over 3 years? He's 17. I did see that. Big offensive lineman. That's one of the things that's often overlooked is Texas Tech's got money and they're spending it. I mean, the biggest winners in the NIL, rev share era, all this stuff are programs that have money and are willing to spend it. SMU is a great example of that. They bought their way into a Power 5 and year one made the playoff. And that's a great example of it. Texas Tech's an example. Tennessee, Florida State, and Nebraska's one I think it's going to be interesting to watch in time. once proud programs that now have the opportunity to buy themselves back to relevance, where you have a motivated booster base wanting to get relevant again. I mean, that's Tennessee, Nebraska, Florida State, all those. Was it Devontae Smith? Okay. Tiger Diver, good morning. Jeffrey, yeah. Matt doesn't care training in Texas. I do. I care very much about the flooding. That's, if you haven't seen anything on it, it's tragic. Aaron, good morning. Hey, Brant, different team and coach. Do you think Dabo has an edge over Kelly in week 1? Take away home field advantage. I think sometimes. What's their head-to-head matchup? Let's see. Sweeney's 3-1 over Brian, over BK. 2019 CFP semis, 2020 ACC championship game, 2020 CFP semis. And then there was the one in South Bend that Notre Dame won. So Dabo has beaten Brian Kelly 3-1. And he's won 2 national championships. Probably edge Dabo. Lorenzo, the dynamic hefty lefty. Yes, indeed, man. Rip. Hey, Brian, good morning. From Little Rock, try to watch the end of the LSU Arkansas CWS game. She said if I watch it, I'd be in the doghouse. Some things are worth it, Brian. Karan Patel, good morning. Any possibility of flipping Blaine Brad from Ohio State? What's LSU doing to keep Lamar Brown home? Same with Elijah Haven leading Michigan. So a lot of good questions there. I don't know that LSU is going to be able to flip Blaine Bradford. Lamar Brown, I do think, will be an LSU Tiger. Again, that commitment's coming up on the 10th in 5 days. LSU's been the leader all the way. I think they will land Lamar Brown. And then Haven for 27, leaning Michigan, I think is way premature to say that. I know the RPM, the on-3 RPM thing has that, but the way they calculate that is like visits and contacts and different stuff like that. I think LSU is going to be in a really good spot with Elijah Haven. As a matter of fact, like he trains with Matt Flynn over at Dunham. LSU was the first offer. They very much understand the importance of Elijah Haven, and we had a year till we really have to buckle down on that. But I think they're going to be okay there. What about the edge from New Orleans 27 leaning toward USC? Can't continue to lose big time prospects. Yeah, so you're talking about Zyron Forstall out of Jesuit. Again, got a year till you get to there, and we'll see how it goes. The thing with SC is their defensive line coach has ties to New Orleans, and they're spending big. That's what happened with Jakeem Stewart. And they gave him $2 million a year. Okay. I think LSU was up to 1.2 for Jakeem Stewart. I think that was the number they got to, and USC was offering $2 million a year. So he took $2 million a year and went out to LA. Guess somebody didn't tell him about state taxes in Los Angeles, in California, but in LA. Tony, good morning. Brad David, when you were at Holy Cross, would you still watch LSU games on TV? Oh yes. That was Nick's first year. Very much remember watching LSU get pummeled by Florida. I watched the overtime win against Tennessee from my dorm. Auburn game was not a great one. Made it back in town for a few games that year. Got to watch both the Kentucky and Mississippi State games in 2000 in Tiger Stadium. So went to the Peach Bowl that year when they beat Georgia Tech. Let's see, Joseph asked us the other day. I think I missed the answer. Do you guys get paid for playing Yeah, no, I answered it. I don't think they get paid. I think they get a stipend, but it's not like, hey, we'll pay you to come play. I think they get like a stipend for food and things like that. Hey, Rob, funny how times have changed. You had to listen like that back then. Funny how times changed. You had to listen like that back then. This past year, I watched the LSU game on my phone at a wedding with a Bluetooth earphone. You're talking about the Bluegrass Mirror. Yeah, man. And that's, 20 years of 20 years of technology, obviously, will change a lot of things. Think about that. 20 years ago, we didn't have HD TV yet. Well, I guess in 05, do we have 05? I'll tell you what, 05, like, HD TV was just becoming a thing. And it was very expensive. I remember I bought my first ever HD TV in 2006. And now, like, you can get an 100-inch flat screen HD hanging on the wall, and it's like $80. You know what I mean? Well, not 80, but you know what I mean. That's always, man. If there's something new technology you want, just like wait a year. Just wait a year. Get super affordably. Hey, Thomas. Good morning, Aaron. Clint, best friend, and I in college left 07 Florida game early. We left at the end of the third quarter down 10. Yeah, that's dumb. Wow. That was just a phenomenal night in Tiger Stadium. That whole thing was great. Down 10, the Hester fourth down plays. What a game. We talk about the Hester fourth downs, but Matt Flynn threw a touchdown pass to D Bird on fourth down late in that game as well. So many instances where the game was hanging in the balance, but what a game. What a game. Gulf South, been on vacation, so I'm late. It sucks Larson is leaving. I get why, though. I don't think Stanfield was needed last year. LSU still wins. The title was Curiel, Brown, Larson, Pierce, in my opinion. Maybe. I think impossible to say. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you, but Stanfield was your leading hitter in conference play this year. So you can't minimize that. Like, he led your team in batting average in SEC games. And have that guy in the bottom third of your lineup was significant. Also, Stanfield's a better center fielder than Curiel. So how do you quantify that difference? I don't know. Don't know. But yeah, although Stanfield had a great year, it's all part of it, you say that though, and then you look at the in the championship series, look at the Arkansas game, the big hit Stanfield came up with. So he came up with some massive hits for you in the postseason. In the championship game, he's the one who broke the 2 RBI single that got you the lead. Rick, does Drew like the fireworks or hates them? He doesn't mind them. I don't think he likes them, doesn't mind them. He'll sit out there and watch them. Brian, anywhere in the new basketball arena? Yeah, I know they're just going through a whole bunch of it's all in negotiations with the school, the city parish, and with the developer. Because as I understand it, the developer is going to pay to build it, and LSU will lease it from them from the developer for their home games and events. So, like, how many events? Like, the developer's obviously going to want events every night of the year. So when you have basketball for men's, women's basketball, whatever other sports they like to have there, it's like, as I understand it, I think like volleyball will stay at the PMAC. I don't know if gymnastics stays at the PMAC or moves to the new one. They're going to convert part of the PMAC into like offices and different things like that, different space. But then concerts and different things that'll be coming to Baton Rouge will play at the new arena. So it's like, so much of it is making sure like the number of events per night. And then the long term, as I understand it, the long term thing is LSU would have the opportunity to buy it from the developer at a certain point. So it's just a matter of negotiating all this. Like, what's the rev share split? That's what they're all in negotiation with right now. But the longer it goes, obviously, the further back the date gets pushed till it's open, right? Because I think they were targeting 28 for the first season, the 28 season. But you kind of have to get rolling, if you're going to make that happen. Hey, Rick, Matt, if Fry returns and LSU wins the Natty next year, these 5 guys will be the first Tigers to win 3 championships. Fry, Newt, DJ, Gavin, and Mick Paul. Well, Mick Paul's in the transfer portal, so he won't. And I asked Coogan, and he said there were guys in the 90s that were on 3 teams. Like, it's possible you'd have a 5th-year guy that would have played in 90, like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, so it would have been like 93, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 91 to 97, they would have played on 3, or 96, 7, 8, 9, 2000. So you would have been on 96, 97, and 2000. Like, that's possible that you would have had guys win 3 in 5 years. Coogan did give me names. I just asked, and he said yes. That was his one-word answer. So I'll have to go back and check the rosters to see who played on all 3. But he said there were some. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us here. Thomas, here you go. Let's knock this out.
Construction and roofing. At Parrish, we got you.
Hang on. That's no bueno. Let's do this. This will work now. Why doesn't it start over? That's what I don't like.
From the top of your roof. Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com.
Remember, someone is going to win $10,000 cash money. Friday, July the 18th, we will announce the winner. All you got to do is go to ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com, enter to win. Enter to enter. You just have to sign up for a free no obligation roofing inspection. You don't no purchase necessary, nothing like that. Just got to let us inspect your roof. That's it, and you're entered to win $10,000 cash money. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com, and remember. Brock Rock and Wine, Saturday, July 26th. Get your tickets at brortho.com, benefiting the Brock Foundation. All right. Of course, Unique Physique, Restored Motions. Going to see Crystal Poche again on Tuesday. Hopefully finish getting my back right. Restoredmotions.com. And Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Here people talk about all the time. They got it. Lowest prices, never any contracts, and they ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So no matter where you live, they can get you your medicine. UniquePhysique.com. Jeffrey, would LSU sell the naming rights to Tiger Stadium? I would never say never. I don't think they would drop Tiger Stadium, but I could see something like such and such field at Tiger Stadium. Or like give the Caesars Superdome, right? You could have like Caesars Tiger Stadium. I could see that happening. I mean, you can do what you have to do to stay competitive. It's bottom line. Gulf South clarified, Stanfield's a great player. I just didn't see him as game changer like Tommy White or Einstein when they transferred in. Game coin is a meme coin. Lewis, I don't think you know what a meme coin is. But okay. Guy Brooks, good Saturday morning, Matt. My wife and I celebrated our 41st wedding anniversary yesterday. Congrats, Guy. That's awesome, man. 41 years is fantastic. Congrats to y'all. Here's the 41 more. Stay healthy. Brant had lunch at Pebble Beach. Couldn't justify paying $800 to play it. bucket list box unchecked, maybe after retirement without kids, family trip. Yeah, it would seem like if you're going to, and I didn't know that was a green fee. If it's $800 green fee at Pebble Beach, I would imagine you would have to really love golf and want to play that course. I mean, it'd be cool to play for sure, but I could also understand how they wouldn't want just like a weekend hacker like me or somebody just walking up and just tearing it up and shooting 180. You know. Let's see. There's that Lewis guy. Dude was going off about Flynn being a career backup and not knowing anything about baseball as if being an NFL backup is a bad thing. Who? Lewis? Oh, the guy that just commented? I didn't hear him say anything about Flynn, but I mean, yeah, you spent a decade in the NFL. You're really good. Really good. Rick Kelly, Vandy has a ton of money. They just have to decide to spend it. Yeah, Vandy's interesting. I mean, remember, they didn't have an athletic director for a long time. They let the university administration. Like, this is one of the really interesting convos I had 4 years ago. The head of the collective at Northwestern came on the show with me and Pixley, the podcast we did. You can still go find that episode if you want. But he basically said, like, we have unlimited financial resources. We're just not going to spend it in NIL because that's not our university's mission. Like, we want to be academically oriented and we want to build great leaders and blah, 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 blah. Like, we don't have to be great at football. So it was the Ivy League's the same way. If the Ivy League wanted to, the Ivy League could wreck everything. I mean, look at just for context, Harvard's endowment is $52 billion. What year was this? This was May. Harvard's endowment is $52 billion. University of Texas, $48 billion. Yale, 41, Stanford, 38, Princeton, 34, MIT, 25, Penn, 22, Texas A&M, 20, Michigan, 19, Cal, 19, Columbia, 15, Northwestern, 14, Johns Hopkins, 13, Washington U, that's in St. Louis, 12 billion, Duke, 12, Emory, 11, Cornell, 11, Vandy, 10 billion, UVA, 10 billion, University of Chicago, 10 billion, Dartmouth, 8, Southern Cal, 8, Rice, 8, Ohio State, 8. Anyway, point is, Harvard with a $52 billion endowment, so the GDP, Harvard's GDP Harvard's endowment at 52 billion is larger than the GDP of nations 93 to 194. So Harvard, if you look at Harvard's endowment as a GDP, it would be the 93rd biggest country in the world. I mean, what? Like, if Harvard wanted to, they could build a campus out of gold. Like, they could tear their campus down, build a new campus out of gold, and probably not run out of money. If they wanted to go buy a football roster, could do it instantly. Go buy every player in the world. They just don't want to. They're Harvard. They want to be smart guy Harvard people with presidents and stuff. Okay. Everybody's different. Anyway, all that to say, because think about Vandy. Yes, Vandy could. They did in baseball when Vandy had a competitive advantage in baseball where everybody was beholden to 11.7, and they had a scholarship program. I think it was particularly geared toward minorities, whereby they got free tuition. And so you saw a lot of, at times, minority groups at Vanderbilt, players that would have free tuition at Vanderbilt, and didn't have to count against the 11.7. Okay. I mean, so Vanderbilt basically had a whole roster of guys on full rides, and the 11.7 meant nothing to them. Well, now with NIL, that's leveled the playing field. It's not surprising you've seen Vanderbilt backslide, because it's no longer just about free tuition to Vanderbilt. It's what else you can name me on top of it. Well, if you don't have boosters willing to give money, okay, please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. It's funny, SMU bought their way to the death penalty in the 80s. Now they bought their way to the ACC in the playoffs. It's so true. Curious Cat, if Stanfield leaves, and with Larson leaving, who's third outfielder? Fry. Your starting outfield, I'd be willing to bet left to right is Fry, Curiel, Brown. Locked on Clemson guy had some nice things to say about this LSU team. He should. It's a very talented team. So is Clemson. Devin, welcome anytime. Steve, Matt, good morning. Had a great day at a friend's house. Combo of pooling, hot tamale, infused burgers, celebrating America. Best part, today's only Saturday. Have a great rest of the weekend. Yeah, can we please, can I make a motion that we celebrate the 4th of July always on a Friday, so we always get a long weekend? I mean, this is the best way to do 4th of July, right? Friday going into Saturday, Sunday. It's like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day should be Thursday, Friday. Christmas Eve, Thursday, Christmas Day, Friday. So then you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the best way to do it. Even like if you did Monday, Tuesday, that's still not as good because you have to go to work the day after Christmas or take a day off. We need Elijah Haven is needed here. Yes. Devin, I don't appreciate you getting spicy with me the other day. I don't want to have to come over there and tune you up, bruh. Okay. Then I don't remember what it was about, but then don't make comments that necessitate spicy reactions. But that's your call, not mine. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Hey, look, what are you sleeping? It's 11 o'clock. You're just waking up? I'll be right back. Hey, come here. 11:13, you're just waking up? Oh, my goodness gracious. What in the world? Oh, my God. Did you party so hard on the 4th of July? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, what did you do? Hey, what did you do yesterday on the 4th of July?
Keep it the night.
We went to Keith and Danae's house. Did you watch fireworks?
Dial say
Good is sweet. Okay.
Get the iPad.
Okay. Gone. 11:15, 11:13. My God, just woke up. How about that? Let's see. Question. Why did you make OTB such a Texas-heavy show? Flynn and Alondra from Texas. Taylor's a huge Cowboys fan. Hester's from East Texas. That's too much Texas in one place. Let's see. That was all done unintentionally, but I definitely did intentionally put Taylor and Alondra on that show, replacing Danny and Mario. And I didn't make the decision when Jordy left and Hester went to the mornings. I wasn't PD at the time, so that was a Gordy call. And then when T-Bob left, Jake and I went through a long list of potential replacements, and Flynn was at the top of his list, and I liked it, and so we got a deal done. So, but yeah, the Alondra and Taylor Texas ties are just an unfortunate byproduct. Certainly not the core reason they're putting those roles. They're putting those roles because they're awesome. Those two are eager. Their hands always in the air when you need something. Those two make everything we do functionally, process-wise, as a company better. That's not to say we don't have others that do as well. Like Paul O'Neill, Musso, we have a great team. But you were just specifically asking about those two. Like Alondra was producing Brian Haldane's morning show on Talk 107.3, and I totally pillaged that show and stole her from Talk, and I was like, no, you're gonna come work over here. But she wanted to do sports, by the way, just to be clear. But yeah, that was I saw an HDTV in 2002 before a Rush concert. Rush concert. I knew you had to go there. Brant, do you go this way? Oh, do you know the neighborhood, the Creek, near the OG Sammys? That's where I grew up. My parents visited all our old friends. Strong bonds still hanging from the 90s. Not the same these days. I'm not sure. I know the OG Sammys on Highline. I'm not sure I know that neighborhood. Probably if I passed it, I'm sure I'd recognize. We watched fourth quarter TV. Someone's tailgated the quad. Oof. What a game, huh? The what a game was wasn't the Florida one. The what a game was Odell's punt return in 2013 against Ole Miss. It was 13 or 12. What year was Odell punt return against Ole Miss? 12 or 13? Let's see. Please, 11. It had to be 12. Odell punt return 12. Put your arms around that, give a big kiss on the mouth if you're a girl. What a game, huh? Paid $1,800 for a 50-inch plasma back. It's crazy, man. It's so true. Oh, man. Sean, good morning. I blame Rivers for starting rumors that had state fans on my timeline claiming LSU's broke because they just restated state. No, I think he wanted to stay and they made the money right. So good for him. Retiring numbers is the lamest thing in sports. Okay. I fundamentally disagree with you, but that's okay. Tony, my cousin Jason Williams, 1-2 from 93 to 96. Jay Will was awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, he played as a freshman on that 93 team, was starting shortstop in 96. When Jason Williams left LSU, he left LSU as the all-time leading hitter in program history. Amazing player. Thomas, 68 down, 69 tomorrow, getting back to the record of 97 every day. There you go, Dale. Haters. Club, what's good, man? Make defense great again, rather naming rights on the stadium or logos on the field and patches on the jersey. Well, you're probably going to get all of them in due time. Devin, did you see they make GLP-1 meds from the poison of some South American lizard? That's crazy. Love it. Give me South American lizard poison. Scott, good morning. Chef, doesn't Pitbull have his name on a stadium? Yeah. Or no, it was the bowl game. He named, was the stadium or the bowl game? I can't remember if it was the stadium. Hang on, let's see. He purchased the naming rights to FIU's football stadium, which will be renamed Pitbull Stadium. 5-year, $6 million deal with Pitbull paying $1.2 million annually. So the point being, if FIU can get $1.2 million annually, what could LSU get for Tiger Stadium? I mean, it's safe to say you could get a 5x of that, a 10x of that. I mean, I don't know. Brant played golf, so I was 12. Okay. So there you go. So then, yes, dropping $800 to play Pebble Beach would be a completely worthwhile endeavor. And Brant, I'll tell you this much, and you can choose to do what you will in life. Everyone can. But as I have come to appreciate in life, time will pass, and then you'll have the memories, but you'll never remember what you spent. If it's worth it, right? You're not going to remember the $800 green fee. Huh? But I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying like if you're just on the fence about it. I'm just saying like in just generally speaking, like, you know, we went to Boston to watch the Yankees Red Sox a couple weeks ago, and I got us tickets in the second row next to the dugout. It wasn't cheap, but you know what? It was an awesome memory that I'll have with Eli and James forever. You know, Eli got a shout out from Bregman in the dugout, caught a baseball. I honestly don't even remember now what they cost. Whatever, you know. Anyway. Antonio Leonardo Catalica was on 93, 96, 97. Just did the research. There you go. We got one. That a boy, Kenneth. Devin, I would never pay $100 to play a round of golf. I don't care how much money I have. It's preposterous. No round of golf is worth that much. Yeah, Devin, it's a waste of money to you if you have no interest in playing golf or playing Pebble Beach, which is a famed course, and it would be something. There's people who spend far more than $800 on a bottle of wine, which you may think is stupid, or a bottle of whiskey, which you may think is stupid, or any other thing that people like to collect or do with their time and money, which is why I've always said I will never criticize fans for what they choose to spend on tickets or to go or not, because it's your time and your money. Do with your time and money what you want. So, Devin, it's idiotic to you because you don't like to play golf. To someone who loves to play golf and would love to go play that course and have the opportunity to do it and have that lifetime experience, it's amazing for them and good for them. Go have that experience. There's people who would never pay for the baseball tickets that I just talked about what I paid for it. They think that's stupid. Well, I don't care what they think. It meant something to us. So you do it. So don't judge people for what they do with their time and their disposable income. That's the core of why I have always said when people complain about fan attendance at games, like I will never, ever, ever criticize fans for what they do, for if they want to show up late, leave early, if they want to buy their tickets and use it as toilet paper, if they want to show up early and leave late, you do you. It's your time, your money. You do you. I don't want anybody telling me what to do with my time and money. I counted yesterday. I have 91 pairs of sneakers in my closet. 91. Started collecting shoes just over 2 years ago. I have 91 pair. And I don't care what you think. None of you. I have 300 bottles of whiskey there and in that cabinet. I don't care what you think of that at all. Because I like it. It's nothing to do with you. So if Brand or anybody else wants to go spend $800 to play Pebble Beach, awesome. Good for them. I hope you have an amazing time. Amazing time. And hope it's everything you want it to be in life. Like, I hate hunting and fishing. There's some of y'all that spend a lot of money on boats and rods and reels and hunting trips and guided tours, and you spend money to be able to go shoot an elk. And I think that's stupid. I would never, that's no interest at all to me. But if you love that, God bless. Go enjoy life. Scott, top 75 quarterbacks in the world are in the NFL. The other members of the top 100 are likely on dev squads or still on campus somewhere. Oh, is that about the Flynn thing? Mark, thoughts on Pat McAfee saying none of the northern schools will need to sell batches on the jerseys? I don't care. I don't care what anybody does. I don't care about patches on the jerseys, what they got to do. Yeah, exactly. Like, but it's much ado about nothing. It's just something that people feel like they're supposed to complain about because of the pageantry of the game and the history and the tradition and the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and they'll tee it up, kick it off, and you'll be watching the same like me, and it just doesn't matter. Hey, Scott, the idea that backup quarterbacks are junk is absurd. Yes, it is. Even Tulane could outbid us for players if they wanted to. Yes, they could. Is endowment untapped funds that boosters alumni have? It's not allocated to sports. That's the endowment is the the donations effectively to that specific university, which then they'll put in an interest accruing account. So like Harvard has $52 billion in their endowment, and it's going to compound with interest, so it'll never run out. It'll never shrink either. So it's crazy, man. So like that's not for sports, just to be clear, but it's just to show like it's just to show like the collective spending power that that those universities could have, right? So LSU system endowment is just over $1 billion. So they just cleared $1 billion. Oh, last time I looked, it was like at like 890 or something, 890 million. Gulf South Ivy League schools could afford to wreck the NIL game. Realistically, they have to lower their academic. That's the point. That's exactly the point. Okay, Brian Doherty was on 93, 96, and 97. Okay, shout out Brian Doherty. Randy Jones going to miss the PMAC as a huge Pistol Pete fan. I won't miss the PMAC. It's a dump. It's a dump. Pierce Lee, I always think about how funny it would be if when Alabama got close to Yale and Princeton's number of titles, they just decided all in on NIL to push their title. That would be funny. We're gonna beat just to show we could. Yeah, dude, Jared Lorenzen died several years ago, man. Jared Lorenzen died in 2019, July 3rd, 2019. It's been 6 years, man. Just a few days ago. 6 years, a few days ago. I mean, he had gotten massive, dude. He had gotten really big. Sad. When does LSU start fall camp? Haven't announced the dates yet. Here's all the here's all the Druins. Yeah. Dude, my dude slept till 11 o'clock today. Man. Elijah's good at everything. Do you have your second for whiskey and wine this season? Nope. I don't. Is it a reason you don't go on Locked On SEC with the other guy? You mean on the squad show? They usually record that squad show at a time when I'm not available. Like I don't know what time they do it, but it was at like Tuesdays at like 7. And so, I mean, I finish AFR at 6. By the time I do promos and all, come home, I walk in the door at 6:45. Like, I'm not about to sit down and jump on another show. So that's why. No other reason. Randy, I watched a great Little Rock coach Curry interview a couple of days ago. The only player transferred from Little Rock. Oh, that was the thing, the Stanfield thing. Yeah. That's right, Devin. You were bad mouthing Stanfield. I had to set you straight, dog. Michael Cook, what's going on, man? Jeffrey, is Muse the heir apparent for AFR? Well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so probably not. But when that day comes, I ain't going to be the one making the decision because I'm going to be out. Let whoever's there making decisions make that decision, but it ain't going to be me. Bradley, good morning. Randy, of note, was the pitcher who led the country in ERA in 2023. Cano is coming back too. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the second part of the comment you were just saying. Got it. Crystal Google says Benny Brazil is the only 3-time national champion, 1 in football, 2 in track and field. Well, that's wrong. It was just said 3 in baseball. Devin, wouldn't want the naming rights to Tiger Stadium sold. Don't refer to it. You see, the thing is, like, even if they name it, Devin, I talked about this in Locked On the other day. Even if they named it, you and I would still just call it Tiger Stadium. I mean, so it's like what I said was the Dome, right? Mercedes-Benz had the naming rights to Superdome. Now it's Caesars, but I don't ever refer to it as the Caesars Superdome. When I'm talking about the stadium, I just say the dome, and you all know what I'm talking about. But Caesars has a big logo on top of the building, the names. Oh, fine, whatever. I mean, I don't care. If that's what the Saints need to do, okay. And it may get to the point eventually where Tiger Stadium has to do the same thing. You know, ask Hunt, would he pay $100 to play Pebble Beach? Sure would. This is the point that I made as well. January 4th, 2004, LSU won its first national championship in 45 years when they beat Oklahoma 21-14 in the Nokia Sugar Bowl with a big Nokia patch right there. Do you think that removes 1 ounce of joy from my life that there was a Nokia patch on the jersey? No, not at all. Not one iota. Sean, are you familiar with Young Life Capernaum? Could be great for Drew, etc. as he gets older. My wife and I are both involved with it here in Tennessee. I'm not, but feel free to send me more info if you have it, if you don't mind. Brant, this trip was more about family memories, telling the wife, hey, go do something with the kids for 5 hours while I play Pebble Beach. Maybe do it on a guy's trip someday. Make me feel better about it. That's the way to do it, man. Go do it with people who would enjoy it, for sure. Curry LSU, just because you don't care about patches doesn't mean lots of others don't. That's fine. You can care about patches. I'm just telling you, like, whether you care or not is not going to change the fact that it happens. Because what I'm guessing you care more about is LSU winning. And for LSU to win, you have to generate revenue to be able to spend with everybody else. Spend on coaches, on players, on facilities, on travel, on recruiting budget, on support staff. All that stuff costs money. And so if you want to win, you got to generate more revenue. Well, if this is a new revenue stream, we can do it that way. Or how about this? We just multiply ticket price cost by, we just double everybody's ticket price. Let's just do that one. We'll just double everybody's ticket cost price. And I'll take care of it. You good with that? You good with that? Or would you rather put jersey patches on? Everybody wants nice stuff. Nobody wants to pay for nice stuff. Get out of here. You can hate it all you want. But the bottom line is you're still going to be watching the same like me, whether they have a patch on their freaking jersey, whether they could remove the LSU logo on the side and just put sponsor logos right there. You're still going to watch when LSU plays Clemson. Are you doing AFR for Media Days? Of course. Yep. We leave next Sunday, the 13th. So Monday, the 14th through Thursday, the 17th, we will be at Radio Row at SEC Football Media Days, OTB, the Hunt Palmer Show, and AFR, all from Radio Row at SEC Football Media Days. Looking forward to it, man. Hey, Ray, ironic convo layover with you not caring about his $800 green fee, juxtaposed to Harvard not caring about getting involved in NIL stuff with sports. Yet I don't think those conversations had anything to do with each other just now. Yeah, it just. Yeah, I think the bottom line is spend money on what you care about. Harvard doesn't want to spend money on sports. Cool. If they did, great for them. If people don't want to spend $800 on a green fee, awesome. If they do, great for them. I'm more about the life of just saying, do with your time and money what you want. Matt, could you throw out several names that you would like to have, realistic or not, for whiskey and wine? No? Why don't you throw out a few names? Who would you all like to see on whiskey? That's a better way to do it. Who would you all like to see on whiskey and wine? Here we go. Did you get his backpack? Oh, Lord, child. He's been up 21 minutes. Yes, he walked in here at 11:13. It's 11:34. Will LSU have a running back that will move the ball, or will we still be going backwards? I mean, Caden Durham ran for nearly 1,000 yards as a freshman last year. Pretty good. I think he'll be good. Jeffrey, I don't want you to leave AFR. Good, because I'm not. Yeah. I think y'all are stuck with me for a long time. Unless I hit the Powerball. If I hit the Powerball, then I can assure you I will not be hosting AFR the next day. Like, if I hit the Powerball, I'm no longer the host of AFR. Just, I'll let you know that. You'll still hear from me. Like, I might do Locked On or Morning Scone. I'll be around, but I will no longer be doing AFR if I hit the Powerball. So there's like a 1 in 11 bajillion opportunity that I will not be doing AFR. Aside from that, you're stuck with me. Matt, do you think Quentin Young from Oaks Christian ever shows up on campus? No idea. But I will. Let me not completely. Good this way. My plan is on Monday to get all the info, because it'll be 1 week out from the draft, to get all of the info on all of the high school signees, and then do the segment I do every year about the baseball draft with respect to the high school signees. So I'll get you all of that info. I just personally don't know. I don't know enough about how MLB teams view these prospects, what these prospects' numbers are. Because, like, again, a team could view a guy as a third-round pick, but if the prospect wants first-round money, is he going to stick to that number, or will he fudge to take what they give him? You know, that's always the question. Like Aaron Beatty last year. Aaron Beatty, at one point in his high school career, was seen as a first-round pick. And his bat struggled his last year in high school, and so he dipped. And he was getting calls in the middle, late second round, third round, but he stuck to his number, what he wanted. And so he came to school. Awesome. Yay. So, but I just don't know. I don't know how Quentin Young is viewed by scouts, and how that compares to what he want, like what his number is, and will he stick to his number? Kenneth, I'm not opposed to selling naming rights to Tiger Stadium. It's probably going to happen in my lifetime. I would be surprised if it didn't happen in my lifetime. Edward O. Nuts bus driver, Exxon Mobil Field at Tiger Stadium. Maybe. Roy Wilson, all about making more money and paying $12 million for a 5-star quarterback. Wouldn't it be nice if we just had the second richest guy in the world who could just stroke a check and be like, "What do y'all need here?" My wife said you need a quarterback. Here's $12 million. My ball Eddie O, one day closer to Nuss dominating college football. How much is LSU? I think someone put it up there. That LSU maybe just hit $1 billion. I know the last time I remember looking at that, it was at like 890. Hang on. LSU endowment. Hang on. I'll look it up. But it puts it in perspective when LSU just over $1 billion. So crazy. Devin Snow would be a good replacement. Hold the Mayo. Hunt gets to go on a second field trip with the station. That's what's well, Hunt is going this year Gulf South because of LouisianaSports.net. And that's primarily why he also went to Omaha, was not only because of his show, but with LouisianaSports.net, he is our LSU beat writer. So, like, he has to be there. Like, he has to be writing LSU related content for the website every day there. Like, same with Omaha. It's just we're able to double up him doing a show and writing. Let's see. You hosting Whiskey and Wine, and the second seat should be revolving guest hosts. You want Coach O as the co-host on Whiskey and Wine? Okay. Devin Snow. Hated the jersey number font they used in 2013. Patches ain't that bad. I agree with you on the jersey font. They're still using it. It's better now, but it's still not what it was. Go back and look at the block font they used in the Saban Miles era. Well, before obviously 2013 when they went to the awful font. But yeah, I agree with you. Since money is now an over-the-counter factor in collegiate athletics, do you believe a time will come when LSU will retroactively claim the 1908 title or even others? That's a good question. I don't think so. For those who don't know, LSU was awarded the 1908 title sort of retroactively, but because they were initially disqualified because of claims of professionalism, interestingly enough. And even though they were awarded the title, they did not claim it. So LSU could have another title, 1908, that they don't claim. Whiskey and wine with Moscone and Flynn. I'd say Hester, but he's in the booth. Yeah, like Flynn's not going to do it. I don't think people realize the amount of time that takes up in the day. Like Flynn has young kids and likes to go to games. And like if you do whiskey and wine, you can't go to the game because as soon as the game ends, you're in the chair at Don Juan ready to go. So like it's not a very attractive thing to do. Ray 04 Condon for whiskey and wine. I worked in the Citadel. So Ray, did we know each other? Because I was at Citadel at that time. I got to Citadel in May of 03. And I was there until they ran out. They flipped the format on WIBR in November of 05. So I guess we had to be there at the same time. I don't know if we ever met. Let's see. Jeffrey, you're great at what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Ryan, morning, Matt. Sorry if that message yesterday was confusing. My question was, do you think it would be better if we moved the bowl season to August as a preseason due to a dead period? And again, not opt out. No, they'll never do that. You're not, because the bowls are still meaningless, and you're not going to move bowls into the preseason to play meaningless games before the meaningful games. Like that wouldn't make a lick of sense. You're just going to have opt-outs. That's okay. Whiskey and wine with Moscone and Big Fave would be my number one. Fave would bring the energy that T had. Hello, somebody. Do you play the Powerball? No, I don't. You know what's funny about Powerball too? It's like everyone plays the Powerball when it gets to like $1 billion or something like that. But when it's like 200 million, nobody wants to play. I'm like, or 80 million or 8 million, right? I mean, any number would be massive, but we're like, oh, no, if it gets to $1 billion, I'll buy a ticket. Okay. Because the 27 million, that's not enough. Revolving host would be really cool. Probably a pain. That's very true. What did y'all eat at Court's table? So when I went a few days ago, I had the steak fritas, which were great. And yesterday I had carnitas tacos, which were awesome. Erica had a pepperoni flatbread. We got hummus, which was a great app. And then I had the queso dip as an app last time I went. And everything I've had has been really good. Like I would tell you if it wasn't, the food was really good. So plus marks for Court to Table. Except, I gotta say one thing about Court to Table. They don't have Bud Light on draft. And I got to have a word with my guys over there. They got plenty of Mockler products, but they don't have the number one selling beer in the world on draft. And that's the official beer of AFR. And I ride with my people. So it's the one thing I'm like, we got to fix that. Might need to have a chat with G, with Big G. See if we can get that done. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Is TAP paying the majority of Mulkey's salary? How are they losing $8.5 million in 1 year? So you have not only Mulkey's salary, her staff salaries as well. And remember, you also have things like travel when you fly private to all of your games and you stay in nice hotels and you take a trip to Maui or whatever preseason tournament they went to last year. Where did they go? They played the Baja Mar Hoops Pink Flamingo Championship. So you take a trip with your travel party down to Baja Mar. Well, you've got hotel expenses and flights, like all of that costs money. Like, and you have a recruiting budget, and like, how do you pay for all that? Give Hunt a raise, Scott. I'll give myself a raise before that. Come on, man. Like, Hunt does fine. We're all good. If everything goes good for Holly, would he be automatically reinstated? Yes, he would. Armani, Matt, wouldn't Fry potentially play first, suppose the outfield? No. I think if Stanfield comes back, then Fry would play first. But Fry will play left field. Like, assuming Chris Stanfield is drafted, Aaron Beatty will catch. Milam will be at short. I think Tanner Reeves is going to play second base. Braden Simpson will play third. Dardar, probably first base, DH. Omar Cerna, first base, DH. And then Fry, Curiel, Brown in the outfield. But Tanner Reeves, second base. How about find that week's opponent as the counterpart? Are you saying to make them bowl games? No. Like, there's going to be home games. I think that's no. There's going to be home games. You're not playing bowl games in August and September to make up your schedule. No. I feel Coach O would be the close replacement to T-Bob. Not sure if that'd be good or bad. I don't think Coach O would have any desire. I think you're all joking, but first of all, I don't think Coach O would sit there with me and do a show. And I don't think we could pay him what would be worth his time. Devin, where's media days this year? Atlanta. Yep. Yeah, they move it. So I think the plan is, Devin, that they're going to go Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas, Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas, Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas. I think it's going to rotate among those three. Gulf South. I actually play Powerball when it's under 100 million for the reason you said. Better odds of winning. Smart. Armani Hayes, do you believe if a program gets stripped of a title due to academic issues, the runner-up should be promoted? I guess I haven't given it much thought. You have to give me an example. Like, did they play a championship game? I mean, that's like what happens in the Olympics, right? If someone wins the silver and the gold medalist doped or something like that, then the silver medalist gets gold. That, or you just have a vacated title, I guess. Because like Southern Cal in 2004 beat Oklahoma, right, for the national championship in that Orange Bowl, blew them out. And then they vacated that title because of the Reggie Bush stuff. So I just don't think there's a title. I just don't think there's a champion from 2004. So you're saying, like, should Oklahoma have been the champion? I don't love that. We all watch the game, Speaking of staff, how many, and it's different because they didn't cheat in the game. You know what I mean? Like, Reggie Bush's parents getting a house in San Diego or whatever it was, that's not cheating in the game. Speaking of staff, how many assistant coaches do Lady Tigers employ? 8? They take more of the bench than the bench players. Ray, were you in sales? No, man, I was on air. And so Haney was not PD of IBR when I was there. He was already gone. So Haney left. So that's when IBR was Sports Animals, what you're talking about. Haney left in 2001. He left IBR in 2001, went to Guarantee. So that was not 2004. WIBR at that time was the Capitol's big talker. It was news talk. So Clay Young was on in the morning, Condon did middays, and Ed Buggs was on in the afternoon. And I produced Ed's show from summer of 03 until November 05 through Katrina and everything, and then they flipped the format. Randy, Matty Mo is an LSU fixture for life. Gotta love that spirit. David, morning, Matt. Has LSU Athletics announced any expense cut savings to help meet rev share expectations? Any that you're aware of? Well, you've seen a bunch of them that's just not been made public, like for that reason. Like, you've had a lot of football staff turnover this year with support staff. Like, for example, Jazz Smith was the chief of staff. She's no longer at LSU. They promoted J.R. Belton from director of recruiting to chief of staff. They just eliminated one person from the staff and didn't replace that person. I mean, Nick Brissett, Jacoby Stevens were guys on staff that they were removed. When J.R. Belton moved up to chief of staff, they promoted Donovan Tate to director of recruiting. Right. So you saw a lot of people some people moved out, and then people within the organization move up chairs. You've seen others take jobs at other places this offseason. So that's part of it. You're tightening the belt a little bit on what might be deemed unnecessary support staff. It's basically an audit of the entire athletic department. Say what's needed and what isn't. You know, where can you cut to reduce expenses, and how can we make sure we increase revenue? That's the challenge. Bradley, no one overplays T-Bob on whiskey and wine. Richard, greetings from Los Angeles. Have you ever heard whether other SEC schools are going to put ads on their uniforms? Do you think the conference would get involved, sell conference-wide ads? So the conference can't do that. That's not the conference's right to do. That then doesn't allow for the competitive balance within the league. So like the SEC, if the SEC sold something, then like Vanderbilt would be making the same as Alabama. Well, an ad on Alabama's uniform is more valuable than an ad on Vanderbilt's uniform. They're not the same. So that individual athletic department would have the right to sell what they wanted. Maybe partner with Louisiana Loaded to have Helmers come on whiskey and wine. Whiskey and wine partner and opposing fan base. That's not happening. Kansas, Memphis 08, swap the outcome because Kansas won. Yeah, like again, they lost the game. So that's hard for me because we saw the result. Like I think vacating titles is stupid anyway. Hunt called several games early in the CWS on the radio. Hunt does a great job in the booth. Completely agree with you on that. Armani, in 07, FSU track was investigated for academic fraud, dishonesty prior to the champs. Still had to compete. Got stripped afterwards. Eesh. Will the Thrill on Chapel Hill on whiskey and wine? That would be epic. Who's Will the Thrill in Chapel Hill? Just asking since NCAA promotes academics to be eligible to compete. That's how it started. It started with me and Jordy. And then when Jordy left, it was going to be me and Rohan. And then Rohan bailed the day of the opener. And I was going to do the show solo. And T-Bob texted me because remember, T-Bob and I were doing pre, and pregame back then. We were doing like a 5-hour pregame show. And that's when that year is when we had hired Jeremy Hill, and Jeremy Hill was taking over the pregame role, I think, with Hanny. It was Hanny and Jeremy Hill in pregame. And so T-Bob texted me the morning of the game. He's like, hey, what time are we on air? I'm like, we're not. It's Hanny and Jeremy Hill this year. Like, we're not doing it. I was like, hey, by the way, Rohan bailed on me on whiskey and wine. Like, do you want to come in? He's like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. So T-Bob came, and then there's just the co-host of whiskey and wine forevermore. That was 2021. Because I did the first episode that year from the Rose Bowl after LSU lost to UCLA. The next week, I think it was the game against McNeese in Baton Rouge. Drunk Muse would be best option for whiskey and wine. Matta feeling you're going to go solo on whiskey and wine. That wouldn't be fun. It would be spicy. To the victor go the spoils. Hypothetically, both sides agree on fair market value to stop kids transferring after the check clears. Could freshmen again be ineligible? That's not going to happen. No great athlete would sit out a year of athletics, and too many freshmen could make an impact. Musa would be good. You could keep the trolling from AFR going. That would play well. We'll see. Got to start deciding what we're going to do, though. We're getting close. It's already July. Let's see what we got. How many weeks we got? Like 8 weeks or something like that? Maybe not even that many. Let's see. How many weeks? Today's Saturday. Okay, so let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks from today, LSU plays Clemson. All right, let's get out of here. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. All of our great sponsors right here. Linked in the description on YouTube. We get them tagged on Facebook. Everything's scrolling at the bottom. Remember, Brock, Rock, and Wine, July 26th, 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, inside of South Stadium Club at Tiger Stadium. Get your tickets at brortho.com, brortho.com. And if you need a roof, we'd love to help you out at Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, schedule your free, no obligation roofing inspection, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. All right, y'all have an awesome day.